Hey, what's up? Today I wanted to talk about another movie, Lady Bird from 2017. It's listed as a comedy slash drama. So this is actually a pretty fun movie. I watched it like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I don't know, but I don't think it was anything like too crazy. I don't know if I'd put it in my top 10 or anything, but it was definitely a good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I'll kind of start talking about things like chronologically, or at least like in order that I can remember what I liked about the movie. But the first thing that actually drew my attention a lot was the opening scene. I really liked how like it just kind of threw you into the mix. You know, it starts off very slow, or you think it would start off really slow, with Lady Bird, the main character, and then her mom in the car, and then it kind of escalates pretty fast into them arguing. And then mid argument, I really liked the quote that Lady Bird dropped. Well, I don't know if it's a quote, but I really like this line of dialogue between the mom and Lady Bird, where Lady Bird says she wishes she could live through something, and then the mom says, "Well, aren't you?" And then in return, Lady Bird just says, "Nope. The only thing cool about 2002, or the only thing exciting about 2002, is that it's a palindrome." I don't know. I just kind of liked the way that sounded. But yeah, that first scene just really got my attention, which is pretty rare because usually with movies, I think like the first 10 minutes are the hardest to get through because it's building something up. But yeah, and then I really like the way that the movie, like, I really like the pace of the movie. I like the fact that it kind of feels like you're jumping around and skipping, like, from event to event a little bit. Like, I don't know what a good example is, but I like that it feels like you're taking a peek into like her life, but not everything is like chronological. I mean, you're not going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I mean? It's just different events in the main character's life, and I really like that because it kind of gives it like that same, chaotic, like fun, like messy feel. Like, what am I gonna see next? And then another thing I really liked was the way that like Lady Bird's relationships were portrayed, or how they what's the word for it? I liked the progression of her relationships. Like, not gonna lie, at first, okay, so I watched the movie like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I don't really remember like the guys' names, to be fair, but I really liked the fact that with the relationship with the first guy, I liked that it didn't last. Because like I was gonna say, like, not gonna lie, when I first saw that, I was already getting a little ticked off. I was like, dude, I don't really want to see another rom com. Like, don't get me wrong, I like rom coms, but they just make me sad half the time. And I was like, I'm not trying to sit through like a sappy movie where I just see like this main character falling with this guy, and then they're this perfect like cute couple. Like I just wasn't in the mood for that day, and that's what I thought like I was about to be in for. But I like the fact that it just dropped that bomb. Spoilers, by the way. He turns out to be gay, and it's just like, you would think it'd be such a big thing, but that's what I mean. Like, I really like how the movie makes it seem so chaotic. Like, one scene, boom, he's gay, like her boyfriend's gay, and kissing some dude, and then there's like maybe like two scenes of her being with her friend, like getting over it, and then she's fine again. It's like, I don't know, like it feels just like very chaotic, and it gives it a exciting kind of feel. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like the way that it progressed, and then same with Timothy Chalamet's character, which is another boyfriend of hers later on in the movie. Um, I didn't really like his character because he was kind of a douchebag, but I mean, like, I get what they were going for with him. So it's not like, oh, I just hate his character. It wasn't a good character. I just think he was messed up for the way he acted towards Lady Bird, obviously. But anyways, um, there was this one moment that they shared together, like when they first met, and this dude's just talking about how like he doesn't own a phone because governments use them to spy on you, and Lady Bird kind of like laughs at this, but he's being dead serious. And then oh, and then I forgot to mention this. And then Lady Bird and her first boyfriend, the one that turned out to be the one that turned out to be gay, they also shared a moment where they were laying under the stars, and they named the star. So where I was going with this was, I really like the way that oh eventually Lady Bird and then Timothy Chalamet's character, they end up breaking up too. But I really like the way that later on in the movie, like, you can kind of see how she's healed from both of them, or like moved on, but she still, like, cherishes the memories that she's had and stuff, because she makes references to both of those moments that I just mentioned. Um, she points out like the star that she named with her first boyfriend, and then she cracks that same joke with someone else, about like government, or no, yeah, about the government using phones to like track and spy on people. So yeah, that was just like a little neat detail that I liked about the movie. Like, it just feels like it was kind of cool how it kind of felt like a lot like real life, you know what I mean? Like, how you're just seeing, it's like a slice of life kind of movie. That's how I thought about it, at least. You know what I mean? Like a peek into this girl's life. Um, it was just kind of cool to see like how these events like affected her, and then how she went on to like remember them, or like heal from them, move on from them. And yeah, Lady Bird herself, I really liked her as a character too. Um, i liked i liked how like free spirited, she was written. And I also thought her whole dynamic with the mom was pretty interesting, but by the end of the movie, like, it was just kind of like meh, in my opinion. Like, I feel like it could have been developed a little bit more, and it was kind of left like at a cliffhanger, because the whole thing was that like she has a complicated relationship with her mom. But I think that's also kind of what maybe they were going for. The movie ends off with Lady Bird going to college, and the mother, she and the mom had like a bit of a falling out, right before she went for college. And the movie kind of ends with Lady Bird reading a letter from her mom, and it's kind of like it leaves you in a state of not knowing, like, oh, are they gonna talk and make up, and like what happens between them. But I think that's kind of intentional, like you're left to be wondering, like it's like real life, you know what I mean? Like, you're meant to be left wondering what's gonna be going on in her life after the point in the movie. I kind of got off track, but yeah, I was just saying, like, I really like the way that Lady Bird was as a character, like really free spirited, kind of fun, like doesn't really care what other people think, just sees what she wants and goes for it, kind of thing. I really like that. Um, like I said, I thought the end of the movie was a little bit meh, but it's just like such like a stupid thing to like really complain about. Like, I don't really think it affects or changes my opinion on the movie at all. Um, it's just kind of an ambiguous ending, and I'm not the biggest fan of these, but it doesn't like really leave like any like huge unanswered questions, or like, oh, I really want to know what happens with this character or so and so. You know what I mean? But yeah, all in all, I really like Lady Bird. I thought it was a pretty fun, interesting movie. Definitely, I like there were a couple curveballs in there. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really know what to think going into it, and then even while I was in it, I didn't know what to expect. So I thought it was just really good, really enjoyable movie, and I'd really recommend it.